Alright guys, so here we have it, a 2019 Kia Soul. Can you believe it? 2019 and we got it looking like this. But no worries, it came to the right spot. As y'all can see on the door panels, the floor, especially in the seats, there are a lot of dog hairs all over the place. The main objective for this vehicle is to remove all dog hair and debris from the seats, the carpet, the door panels, especially in the door jamb. So right here they're receiving the full platinum interior package deal, so we will be performing that today. As y'all see, we come around the vehicle, you got all this dog hair really stuck in there. We go ahead and go around to the door panels. You see we got all those dirt stains on there, which came off fairly well, as y'all see as the video gets started. And then here we have the center console or the armrest. It's really dirty there. I believe it's from the dog. She did say that she had a dog in the car all the time. And then there y'all have it, the floor mats. So here we go. We're getting started with the driver's side as always. Go ahead and get that side knocked out, vacuumed, hit it with the drill brush. And I love using that tool right there because it just loosens up the dirt and knocks it out the areas where it's really tight to reach. So if you haven't got that already, or you're interested in purchasing or starting your own auto detailing business, that is a must-have that I would recommend for any starter or any car enthusiast that just wants to maintain and keep their vehicle in shape all year round. That's a tool to go to. As you can see right here, I'm just using that tool to get in between the cracks and crevices to knock some of that dirt out the way. That way when I go into the back seat, it'll be easier for me to access and loosened up. So here we have it, finally in the back seat, working through, starting out with the vacuum still. We're just hitting it, letting it go through. So you see all that dog hair right there lifting up fairly well, which I was pretty surprised at, but it did come up pretty easy. So that was a plus for me. Did have areas, as you can see, I had to scrape up. If not, you would have still saw the dog hair just sitting in that carpet. Now I can tell you now, this 2019 Kia Soul did have some carpet that was fairly easy to work with. Unfortunately, like most vehicles, you know, you have that type of carpet that just is just irritating because you cannot get that dirt out of those fibers for some reason. And this carpet right here just seemed fairly well. It was working in my favor. So at the end of the day, I was really happy with the results. That I'm using is the I can't remember the name right now, but it's a lily pad tool, I believe. And that right there I use pretty much any time that I'm coming across dog hair. That is my go-to tool right there. So for any of y'all wondering what I use for dog hair removal, that is a tool I definitely go to after I hit it with a vacuum and the drill brush. Once all that's loosened up and it still hasn't came out, then that is what I turn to get 99% of that dog hair out. Now, you know, being realistic, majority of the times you're still going to see about 1, 2, 3 pieces of hair there, but the main goal and priority for me is to get at least 99% of that out. As long as I can do so there, then I leave and with the customer being happy. So that's my main focus there. As you see here, I'm really utilizing that tool to really pick up majority of that dog hair. At the same time that I'm scooping, I'm having my vacuum right next to it. That way I could just pick it all up from there. And then we just continue to do work, you know, scraping it, picking it up, because a lot of times with the vacuum, it's just not going to loosen that up. So we just continue going there. Alright, so here we're pretty much repeating the same process. However, here I am utilizing the drill brush tool to get right in between the crevices of the seat and the paneling, which did a great job lifting up all that dog hair that was stuck in there. So a job well done there. Here I'm pretty much just repeating the same process as I did on the driver's side seat, so I'll just go ahead and let y'all watch. Alright guys, so here we're just pretty much repeating the same process that we did on the driver's side. I'm just really agitating and trying to pick up as much dog hair as I can. As you can see in this pile here, just look at everything I've gathered up with the lily brush. It's really doing its job and playing its role here. Again, if you haven't had a pet hair brush, this is one I highly recommend. It really helps get the job done. You can find it on Amazon under Lily Brush. Now, when it comes to the trunk area, that could be one of the most frustrating and most time-consuming areas, just because of the fact that that isn't just carpet. That's a type of fiber that is just so thin, and it pretty much knots up every single thing that it catches, and it could be so time-consuming. So you just got to be sure that you're not spending too much time in that area, and if you are, you got to be sure that you are getting your time's worth for that. That's one thing that you always got to be sure of when you are attacking the trunk area. One thing I find very important in the detailing industry is that you're communicating to your customers what exactly it is that they are wanting detailed. Yeah, obviously they choose a certain detail service. However, a lot of times there are those customers that are really picky, and you have to be sure that you are understanding what it is that they are wanting detailed. Because in theory, we all have a game plan that we follow, but if you don't know exactly what needs or what expectations your customer are expecting, then how are you really going to satisfy what they want? So always be sure that you know exactly what it is that they are wanting detailed. And in this one, her main focus was just being sure that all dog hair was completely removed, which I put majority of my focus in throughout the detail. Big shout out to my little brother Isaac for helping me get this job done. Couldn't do it without you, bro. Thank you for your help. And for those of y'all who are wondering, this job here took around 4.5 to 5 hours to complete. If I was doing it by myself, it possibly could have took anywhere from 6 to 7 hours to get the job done. So again, when it comes down to detailing, it is very time consuming, but it does help to have that helping hand there to help you get the job done. Alright guys, so as y'all can see here, I'm following through with my drill brush, knocking off as much dirt and debris possible that I can from the floor mat. And then once I get all that completely knocked off, then I follow it with the lily brush and scrape up as much as I can off the surface, and then I finally hit it with my vacuum. As you can see here, I'm working on top of my ladder. This ladder here I use for multiple things, and it's really convenient for me. I feel like I really got my money's worth. If you haven't got one of these already, I really do recommend them. Again, I use this ladder for my interior details, for it being my workbench, to my exterior details whenever I need to reach on top of vehicles. Alright guys, so once the floor mat is completely clean, then I am topping it off with the plastic floor mat protectant. This is something I highly recommend for newer vehicles, especially if your floor mats are still looking brand new. This can last up to 3 months and just helps you extend the life of your floor mats. Okay, so here we are finally working on the door panels. This particular day was pretty shady, so I went ahead and sprayed down every single area of the door panel. Just keep in mind, normally on sunny days you would want to do it by sections, that way it doesn't dry up on you. This day again was pretty shady, so I sprayed everything down, and then I followed it through with a detail brush, agitating every single crack and crevice around the panel, and then I followed it up with a microfiber towel to dry it all off. Now, as we move inside the interior of the vehicle, one thing you want to be very cautious of when spraying the armrest is the overspray, because if you are ever working on leather seats and that overspray just sits there, it will destroy and discolor those leather seats. So always be sure that you are quickly wiping up any overspray that gets on any material on the inside of the vehicle. One thing to keep in mind whenever working on the driver's side area is that you got to be very meticulous with the cleaning, because there are just so many controls that go left to right, up and down, and you just got to be sure that you don't forget to move those controls in that direction. That way you clean every single part of that. Now, over the years of detailing, these Scott pads are something that I highly recommend for any of my car enthusiasts or car detailers out there, because they really save you time and they help you get the job done at a more efficient pace. Hold on. Alright guys, so that there was just a clip of me cleaning. I ended up hitting my funny bone, and man, it really got to me. But that's just all part of detailing. You know, sometimes you're just moving so quick and you just hit your funny bones out the blues. But that there I thought was just funny to include in the video. But let's get back to it. Now, since these seats weren't heavily soiled, all it took was just one pass to get these seats back to brand new and all the dust out. Normally it'll take me about 3 to 4 passes, just depending on how heavily soiled the seats are. Again, with these, they weren't really soiled, they were just more so covered with dog hair and dust, so this just only took about one pass. And here we have the window cleaning. I always start with the windshield and I follow it with my waffle weave towel. And normally after, I will do a second pass with just a regular microfiber towel, just to remove any haze and leftover window cleaner. Alright guys, so here is the finished product, looking brand new and fantastic once again. The 2019 Kia Soul revived and brought back to life. Let's get it, let's go, and let's keep climbing to the top. Franco's Auto Detailing, let's get it.